rough day.
Rough
Rough,
day.
rough day.
Cheers.
Um, yeah. Cheers to Danny.
Fuck. Excuse my French.
Today, the day that we were recording, we're a little bit behind on Singapore, and today's the day that the news of Danny leaving RB has also officially been announced. Um,
I don't even know what to say.
yeah,
I don't even know
it's
what to say.
it's sad. I think that the way that they handled it was really terrible. I think they could have. I don't know. Do you want to talk about this right now, or should we
I think
like
we should
kind of?
get into it a
Okay,
little bit later, but
let's.
let's let our emotions kind of settle
Yeah.
in
All
about
right.
it
So
because
we're
it's
gonna talk
just
about Daniel. We're gonna get into that, but I think we need to talk about
Singapore.
Singapore. Kind of go over that race,
Yeah,
which was I thought it was a good race.
dude, it was. I mean, it was as good as Singapore can be.
Yeah.
It's like one of those races where it's hard to pass. Starting grid generally, is the finishing grid to a certain extent. I
Yeah.
mean, there was definitely some good passes, I think, in this race, and I think there was a lot of time made up, but we can get there. And I think we should also start by saying like and subscribe.
Yeah. Like, subscribe, give us a follow. We're noticing good growth on the videos. There's a lot of you guys watching that are not subscribed. It's
Yeah,
yeah, I mean like it just
doesn't hurt
helps.
you.
It doesn't hurt you and it helps a small channel out.
We're
So
trying
give
to
us
not work anymore. We're
yeah,
trying to make this work. So like,
support us
just
please.
give us a little hand here.
Um
Why don't we get into the predictions then of what we thought was going to happen?
okay, okay. I mean, I don't think I was terribly far off. I got 2 out of 3, not in the right places.
Yeah, I mean, you were closer than I was.
Yeah, you had some some wild cards.
I try to go out there every once in a while and
Yeah.
just see what happens, but
Reminder, I said Science P3, Lando P2, and Oscar P1. Uh, Brad
yeah, I
said,
went Hamilton P3, Piastri P2, Perez P1, and we all know how that went for me. So let's go Piastri. That was the closest thing I had. Um,
one of these days, one of us is gonna get a full
yeah,
house.
we'll get it.
We'll get it one
And
of these
then
days.
shotgun,
Yeah, and
free
shotgun.
shotgun for
Yeah,
another guy.
on camera.
Yeah,
Um, I was blown away. I don't know about you, but the practice sessions were going on and qualifying and everything I was watching. And the amount of times that I watched Russell almost bin it
yeah,
on turn 14, I was convinced going into it, I'm like, there's gonna be a safety car. I'm
yeah.
blown away that there was no safety car. Like, it's nuts. Dude, I don't know how many times in a row I was like standing going, this guy is like, it was continually Russell into turn
Oh yeah,
14.
I mean every single time.
Yeah.
I think who else binned it in the
Turn 14 was a doozy. That's the one that Lando almost or did hit his wing a little bit
in
on
the race?
in the race.
Yeah,
We had Science, but that was on like the final turn.
yeah.
We'll get into that. But turn 14's a rough one. It's like one of the most aggressive. It's like an acute angle. Like it's more than 90-degree turn.
I mean, so FP1 times were like 131, 131.
Yeah.
I think Charles got 131.7. Quali times in Q3 were 129. So they cut
Yeah.
2 seconds off between FP1 and Q3 in quali, which is pretty good. But like
Pretty substantial.
these guys were just going out there right off the bat, and I just saw these gnarly soft tire laps. Like they were
Yeah.
just putting 'em in, and I was super impressed. And like you could definitely tell that it was very messy because everyone was like tagging walls and
Yeah.
like you were saying, George is like going off,
A
and
lot of guys were.
yeah,
It was pretty crazy. Do you
and
think that has to do with just like the heat and like tire
it
temps?
could, yeah. I mean, I think it just comes down to they're just like they're ready to go and they want to get the fastest time, but they're trying to get the tire limits set in.
Yeah.
They're trying to get the track rubbered in. It's street track, so they got to rubber it in.
And they changed it too.
Yeah,
It was 2 turns less.
yeah. They changed it in I think it was last year,
Yeah.
and apparently it's because they're doing construction on that portion of the track, and that's why it's closed. Like Singapore is doing construction, so
On like the road.
yeah, yeah. So they got rid of those 2 turns. I think I mentioned this last at the end of the last podcast. Lewis Hamilton used to have the fastest lap record on this track.
Yeah,
And guess who has it now?
Danny
Danny.
is gonna hold
They
that
gave him
record.
one last little,
One hurrah.
yeah. So props for that, which is I think pretty good.
One quick tidbit that I want to huck in, that I didn't find out until after the race. It's great that they do the race at night for these
Yeah.
guys. I don't know if you knew, but Formula Academy, the girls race same day, middle of the day.
Oh God.
I
Actually, I heard Leah Block did really
Yeah, she
well
got
in it.
fourth,
Yeah.
P4. She did really well. But like I'm blown away that they're even putting people like I mean George at the end of the race
Yeah.
got pulled. I know George
They're
got
all. I feel like they're a bunch of drama.
he got pulled off for like heat exhaustion. None of the girls got pulled off for heat exhaustion, and they're racing in the middle of the day, which is nuts.
Lewis and George didn't even go to the press conference afterwards because they were so exhausted.
Yeah. Well, I think Lewis is just
Yeah.
he's done enough of
Yeah.
them, and George is captain safety.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I was watching a compilation the other day of the amount of times that like George has like radioed in to like complain or like to like basically tattle on
yeah.
other drivers for like Lando was over the
Yeah.
line.
Yeah.
I saw Max touch.
Yeah.
Like just like unsafe release, unsafe
When are they
release.
getting a penalty for this?
Yeah, it's just like George, chill out, man. Let let the stewards do their job.
yeah.
He's the kid that would tell the teacher, hey, like you haven't checked the homework yet.
Yeah.
That's George.
Well, I I don't know what his deal is. I think we say this every time, but I'm trying to be supportive of his career, but
Yeah,
he makes it
he
difficult.
makes it very
Yeah.
difficult. Sometimes more than Stroll does.
Yeah. I think what was interesting is FP1 takes place in the daytime.
Yeah.
FP2 takes place at night. So it's their first night session. What I was really surprised about in the practices was how good Williams looked.
How good
Yeah,
Colapinto's looking.
I know.
Holy shit, man. This kid can drive.
Yeah, I hate to
Yeah.
say it. He's pushing Albon a little bit.
I I mean, I think it probably concerns you more than it concerns me, but I really think there's a good chance that he beats Valtteri for that Audi seat. If he keeps performing, you think it's signed, sealed, and delivered for
Don't talk about
Valtteri?
my guy
I
like
don't
that.
know about
Don't
my
talk
guy.
about my guy like
Dude, I think Valtteri should be concerned, man. This new kid comes in, he's doing very well.
Yeah. He's
Like
trying his best.
he's trying his
Yeah.
best.
But I will say, in practice, he pulled into the Alpine pit box
That's okay. You know, we'll make
instead
mistakes.
of
Yeah.
the Williams pit box, which is pretty embarrassing.
It was the quickest line
Yeah.
was just to go through the other pit.
Yeah, I mean, you live and learn, I
You live
guess.
and
We'll
you
give him
learn.
this one,
Yeah.
but I'm watching you, and
Yeah.
I'm not letting you take my seat from my guy.
Plus, like, I don't know, the colors are kind of the same. They both got blues in there.
Yeah. Well, I think we got, like, Colapinto, Albon, top 15, really, for that. The other surprise that I found in FP2 was Daniel and Yuki were up
Yeah,
there.
both doing well.
So I honestly thought that they were going to have a really good weekend.
Yeah.
And, like, in traditional fashion, they kind of just drop off, which
It's
sucks.
it's it's incredible how poor they do on race day.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much of that is driver error. Like I know Yuki lost a bunch of spots
Yeah.
right off the
Off the
first, like
go.
right off
Yeah.
the go. But like how much of it is also just like I think VCarb has a terrible strategy. Like they just do like it's like they're spinning a wheel of like what should we do on this lap?
I mean, their race strategy for this race was all over the place because they had
Yeah.
Daniel on softs to start off with.
Yeah.
I
And
mean, that was
then
the same as Mercedes with Lewis, but still at the same.
well then Lewis went to hards though, didn't
Yeah,
he?
right.
Yeah.
Like
Like right away.
yeah,
And he ran on the softs longer
yeah,
than Daniel
he
did.
did. Yeah,
So they pitted Daniel super quick
yeah.
and then stuck him on mediums.
But we usually get a safety car at Singapore,
Yeah, true.
so like it's a gamble that I think they were hoping like maybe the
Would
first
happen.
couple laps.
They're watching George in free
Yeah,
practice,
yeah,
getting it into
yeah.
turn
Minute
14.
30 left,
Yeah,
just
they like, buddy,
right into the
it's
wall.
gonna happen.
Yeah, we're waiting for it. Thanks, George. But yeah, so I think there were some surprising results even in FP2, and then FP3. I think things kind of like went back to their normal ways,
Yeah.
which is good to see. But again, Alex and Franco, like
Doing really well.
top 10,
Yeah,
top
crushing
10,
it.
you know? Um, I was really surprised to see Daniel go out in Q1.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
I just don't know if they prepped the tires properly or not, which is a bummer because then you get all your normal guys who are out in Q1, Valtteri, Pierre, Lance.
Yep,
Like
yep. He
maybe you see a Williams in there used most of the time, but not right now.
he definitely should have made it to P2 or Q2 at least.
Yeah,
Like I don't know. I don't know. Again, it's kind of the point is almost moot because it's just
yeah, because then you got Yuki
yeah, Yuki's getting up into Q3.
P8. He qualified P8.
Hmm.
What? Like,
He crushed it.
yeah,
Dude, he outdid Perez,
yeah.
outdid Sainz,
Charles.
although
Although that's because of
yeah, crashed
the incident.
the incident.
But it made it interesting because then everyone had to do it on one lap.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like normally they get two laps in a qualifying, and especially in Q3.
yeah,
They'll get in like the push, the warm up lap, the push lap. Okay, that's the standard. And then everyone kind of like goes, okay, and then we're one upping each other, and then it's like, okay, here it is, last 2 minutes,
let's go.
balls to the wall,
Yeah.
like here we go. But Carlos kind of said, nah, not this time.
Where do you fall on the whole thing with Max's lap time getting erased?
I mean, I think it's appropriate.
Yeah, I think like I well, I don't know. I kind of am like I don't know if Max actually could have he was so far into that corner when the flags were out,
Yeah,
but he also there's no way he also
but
didn't
Carlos was already in the
yeah, he
wall
didn't there's no way he came around that corner and
and
like
didn't
didn't
see.
see that
Yeah,
the cars on the wall.
yeah. He just looked and said, "Oh, there's
He
no flags,"
yeah,
and my dashboard says, "Okay, so I'm gonna
yeah,
go
he's
still."
gonna go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he did pull. You did, if you do watch it closely, right before he crosses the line, he does pull out of it a little
Yeah.
bit, and I think that's when they started to say it. But I guess if the yellow flags are present at the time of, you know, before the lap is finished, it's like delete,
Yeah.
double yellow, I think it is.
Yeah, double yellow.
So you know, it's a bummer, but I don't
It's not
know.
like it would have mattered anyways.
I don't think it would have mattered. No, I
No.
don't think it would have mattered. I mean, it's almost better for Lando to start in front of him just due to the
Yeah.
history of Lando and how he drives from P1
Yeah.
qualifying, right? So I was surprised to see Lewis in
Oh,
P3
yeah.
start from P3. I think
Yep.
that was because he's been so off of his qualifying pace recently. So
When I saw that, I was like, oh, this is boding well for Brad's
yeah,
prediction here. Lewis out there,
I
and all I
know.
could think of was is that new engine, man.
Yeah,
That new engine is just screaming, and
yeah. And
he's
then
gonna
they
just
start him
push
on
it.
softs, and he just like drops
Yeah,
way back.
which is nuts because you would think that he'd at least with the softs, he'd be able to like maybe get out, poke it out front a little bit.
Dude, it was so important that those like first 3 laps for him to stay in it, and he just didn't.
He just didn't. He fell
Yeah,
back so quickly.
yeah, and then I mean Max was hanging with Lando at the beginning of the race, so we might as well just get into the race then.
Yeah,
Um, like we said, Hamilton started on softs. Like the scramble into the first corner was crazy. Like Colapinto did a great job, like getting up into positions. I think he got up to like P9 in like
yeah.
the first
I think on
corner or the first 2 corners.
I'm pretty sure it was the first corner he jumped 2 positions. He just pulled like a beautiful move. I'll
Yeah,
I'll try and put the clip in here,
yeah,
but I think he goes wide
yeah. He went
and
around the outside of
yeah,
Albon, and Albon was bummed.
dude, yeah. Dude,
Yeah,
if I was Albin, man, I'm concerned. I mean his seat's locked in,
yeah.
but like it's not like he really had to try very hard against Sargent.
Makes him kind of bad.
Well, it makes me really kind of like interested to see how Carlos does in that car.
Yeah, that's true. Actually,
Because if like or maybe, dude, we could just both be wrong and Colapinto could just be like
it's just a weapon.
he could be a weapon, dude. Like this kid could be like the next Max Verstappen.
Yeah.
He's just
Okay.
sitting here.
Okay. Okay.
He could be. We don't know. We can't. There's always got to be a new one, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. Um, I also found like you know we have these big passes, but then we have like these backmarker teams who for us have kind of been like backmarkers in the last couple of years,
Yeah.
like Williams and Haas. Like Hulkenberg was P6 after the
Dude,
first
yeah,
lap, and he
crushing it.
maintained P6.
Yeah, he did
I think
well.
Fernando was like creating like one of those walls, you know, that meme with the soldier and all the
Yeah,
things hitting the back.
dude, if Fernando wants to keep you back,
Yeah,
good
yeah,
luck.
yeah. You're not going by
You're
him.
not going by him, man. And he did by the end of the race. There was a good chunk of space in front of Fernando.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, he's creating the gap.
yeah, he's creating a
He's
gap.
allowing everyone to pit in front of him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's holding the wall,
yeah. The
dude.
Fernando
The
wall.
Fernando wall, dude. It's nuts. People, you're just not getting around him,
He's like a
guys.
White Walker.
Yeah, he is. He is literally. He's old enough.
Yeah. You don't go north of the
You
wall.
don't. No, no, no.
um, yeah, and then I guess we saw like kind of race structure maintained a little bit from
Yep.
like Hulkenberg back, I guess you could say, even though like why was Hulkenberg there? But um,
Well, that's where you had the really good um Sergio
yeah,
trying to get around
yeah, he couldn't.
Colapinto and like go and like that probably
Yeah,
one of the funniest
yeah,
things is like the rate like his race engineer is just like, okay, Colapinto's rears are sliding, like let's get
yeah,
around him, and I don't know how many laps go by and he's like, this kid's good.
yeah. This kid's
Okay,
got hands.
this kid's got hands, I'm not getting around him. This kid's beating the shit out of me.
Yeah, come on,
That's when
Sergio.
that's when Horner's going,
Yeah,
how long is this kid's contract for?
yeah. How much does he make
Yeah,
again?
how much do you make? Can
Yeah.
we get Sergio out of here? We'll
Yeah.
get Colapinto in here.
Yeah. I mean, Colapinto was going full balls to the wall, man. Like
Dude,
he
he was
was. Yeah.
all over the place. Like you could
Yeah.
see
I
he
know.
was like the cars squirming
Yeah, he's
everywhere.
just hitting the
Yeah.
wall like every second lap.
But he
Props to
kept
those
it.
Williams
Dude, he kept
construction.
it. Yeah, he kept it in front of him. And
Yeah.
then also Science also gave him huge props.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true he did. Um and like, I think he did a great job. What did he finish again?
He finished 11th.
11. So just out of the
Just
points, which
outside of
is
the
a bummer.
points.
But like the normal order of things is kind of there,
Yeah.
but except for Hulkenberg.
Yeah.
Again, which comes back to my point. Like, why is a Haas P9? Like, when has that ever happened?
I don't know, man. It's just it's due. I don't.
Because we got who? We got Ollie Behrman and
I mean, I think
Ocon. Ah, it's a bummer.
yeah. I'm excited for Behrman.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think I told you this. That like I'm gonna be pissed if Ocon just like abuses Behrman.
Yeah, he will.
He will.
Yeah.
This poor young kid
Yeah.
doesn't need that
No.
kind
No.
of negativity. I think though we see Nico getting up into well, even dude, you can even say like Fernando. What's Fernando doing in
Yeah.
P8, right? I think this comes down to like Perez really again like very much so underperforming. Um
Not to mention that P8 and back is one lap down.
yeah, which is
That's
crazy.
nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched a clip of Lando's biggest gap on Max of
Yeah.
like Lando coming around a corner
Yeah.
and then people sitting and
Yeah.
waiting and like the amount of time it took for Max to
Yeah.
come around the corner, it's
It was like
staggering.
28 seconds
Yeah,
at one point,
almost 30
27
seconds,
seconds.
almost 30
Yeah, it's
seconds.
close.
It's dude, if you're sitting and watching a car go
Yeah.
by, that's a lot of
Yeah.
time.
My thing is like, do you strategically hold back when you know that a certain car is way faster than you to like save your motor and save like car components for like future races? Like, 'cause I feel like that's a thing.
I think so. I mean, I don't know. We didn't hear it on radio or anything like
Yeah.
that, but I think, yeah, if they're going like, okay, he's 30 seconds in front of
Yeah.
us, Max, they're telling, I bet you Max is getting the same orders as Lando was getting, where it's like, hey,
Yeah.
you're there.
Yeah.
Let's
Exactly.
just bring it home.
Yeah. Well, and he almost didn't bring it
He
home,
almost didn't. I was honestly, like right up until the last,
dude.
like last corner, I was going, this kid's gonna put it in the
Yeah.
wall.
He could have binned it pretty easily.
Especially when he started to kind of when he started to come back around
Yeah.
and he was starting to mix in with like Zhao and Bottas and like
They
Stroll.
were telling him to slow down and
Yeah,
he
they're like,
wasn't
hey,
slowing down.
yeah, because they didn't want him to pass him. Like, it's
Yeah.
not worth the risk, and he
Yeah.
went and did it anyways.
Yeah. Of course.
And like, dude, like I think coming up, especially in Singapore, like a street race, coming up behind Stroll,
Yeah.
danger zone,
Oh, it is 100%.
danger zone.
Yeah.
He doesn't know you're
No,
there.
he's got fucking
He's got
elbows out all the time.
yeah, yeah. He'll turn in
Blue
on you.
flag? What's that?
Yeah,
I'm colorblind.
yeah. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I think he was really pushing because he wanted fastest lap.
Yeah.
Because he needs fastest lap. He needs that extra point for fastest lap, and
Yeah.
he did get it, but he needs it.
Yeah.
So it was entertaining to see him try to push for that, and it was near the end again that he
Yeah.
was pushing for that. You know?
I mean, that's a pretty good segue into Danny,
Yeah. First guy to pit
first guy to
on the
pit.
softs
Yeah.
way early.
Like
It was
lap
like
12 or
yeah,
something, 12 or
it was like
13.
yeah, it was like 12
Crazy
or
early.
13.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was like, bro,
Yeah, and he's
chill.
running hards
Yeah.
after that for like the whole rest of the race until they say, "Hey, Danny, here's your moment.
Yeah.
Do us proud, kid." Like give him a little nudge on the head there.
Do you think that was, I mean, there's a lot of speculation on whether or not it was team orders coming down from like Red Bull,
Yeah,
or do you think Danny wanted to go out and get
it's team.
team
Who are
orders
we kidding?
coming in? Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna give it to him because like props.
Yeah.
It's team orders.
I'm glad that he got like the track time,
Yeah,
which is sick.
yeah, it's cool until next year
Yeah. And I hope Max wins by
by
like
one
by
point.
1 point and Danny gets a sweet Christmas present.
Yeah,
That would be
Christmas present. He's getting any type of
any type of
holiday
present. Yeah.
celebration present you want. You want 8 days of stuff? Here's 8 days of
Yeah.
stuff.
Do you know how many millions of dollars I have?
Yeah,
I'm gonna buy you a ranch.
yeah, in Texas.
Yeah. I'm gonna sponsor you for NASCAR. Um,
I also noticed that the pit stops slowed down this race. Like I felt like they were slower. I think the fastest one was like 2.2, but
still pretty quick.
yeah, but the average was like close to 3 seconds, and I'm not sure if that was because of the heat or
Could
what the
be.
vibe was, but I felt like they were slower than normal.
The air in Singapore, man, it's thick.
Yeah,
It's
well,
like molasses.
I'd be interested to know what the salary of the pit stop guys are.
Are you thinking like possible like career change?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you never know.
I feel like it's got to be. I think it's got to be
They
decent.
must be engineered to a certain extent.
Yeah, I think they got to
Like they're
be.
not just like mechanics.
Yeah,
You
because
know what I
that'd be
mean?
a terrible. Like, I mean, that's just like a waste of a. They're not hiring these guys just to change tires. They got to be
No.
doing stuff
Yeah, yeah.
afterwards
They're
for
making
sure.
sure that they're in the right
Yeah,
temperatures. I'm assuming. I'm assuming.
we'll look into it.
Yeah, it's a good.
I'll put the salary in this
Yeah,
location, um, just in case you're interested and you want to become a mechanic.
yeah,
Dude, that actually like such a sweet gig.
yeah,
You're like hanging out with F1 drivers.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure like seeing it in like Drive to Survive,
yeah.
uh, Monaco, those guys are all going getting trashed afterwards.
I mean, I've seen video.
Yeah, they get trashed and they
Yeah,
get to hang out with I'm with like McLaren or
yeah,
I'm with
yeah.
Red Bull.
Look how cool
Look
I
how cool
am.
I am. Like, what do
Yeah,
you do? I change the tires. But look, I'm out there.
yeah.
You still get to go to
You
every
just don't see
race.
me because I have a helmet on,
Yeah,
but
dude, and they have the worst helmets.
I
I have
know.
never seen like there's no like you've got to have like the worst game
Yeah,
ever wearing one of those helmets.
yeah.
There's no way you're approaching anyone,
No,
trying to hook up with anyone,
yeah.
rocking one of like the
With my slick
visor.
helmet, just
Yeah, it looks like
pops it down.
dude, it looks like they look like they're out of like Spaceballs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I wonder if they're FIA mandatory to have
probably
dorky ass helmets.
probably.
Yeah, knowing how the FIA works.
When did those helmets come into play?
I mean, everyone else I feel like in motorsports wears like open face helmets. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but there's definitely a time I'm like where there was no helmet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that was
100%.
that was
Those are
the
good old
those are the
days.
good old days.
Yeah.
No halo.
Yeah. Fueling the
Yeah,
cars as
fueling
in
the
a pit
cars under the
stop. Yeah.
yeah, just the best.
Yeah. Bring back V10s.
Yeah, bring them back. True
um,
horsepower.
I also found the commentary really good
Yes.
during this
Yeah,
race.
it was good.
I think it was like David
It was
Coulthard. It
Coulthard,
was
yeah.
like interaction. Like he used interaction, I
Yeah.
think, like a couple times, and I found that just like funny because the cars were interacting with the wall. They were interacting with each
They're
other.
using like every other
Yeah.
word other than touch or like
Yeah,
contact that they
exactly.
can possibly think of. Like every
Yeah.
adjective other than
No, I mean, I found it. I found it funny that
yeah.
I like David Coulthard actually.
He's a good host.
I used to listen to the global stream,
Mm.
so like on the F1, like the one down, and I've recently started listening to the other one, and like with Julian Palmer and
Yeah.
David Coulthard, and it's so much better.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was doing. I was blowing it before, but
Just blowing it, bud.
um, okay. Well, I think big talking points from the weekend, other than the race, were like Max dropping f bombs.
Yeah.
So
Which is I
beep.
yeah, gotta say is like it's nuts. Also just I don't know. I kind of was like reading a little bit on it and like how like Lewis is like supporting him and which is like I kind of thought
That's
was
yeah,
surprising.
iconic.
Yeah, that like Lewis is like, hey, like I fully side with Max on this one
Yeah.
because like Lewis is right. He got attacked for like the whole jewelry thing, and then he kind of was going into like he's like, I feel like there's like a degree of racism
Oh,
with
yeah.
how it's like they're liking swearing to like rappers and then like that
Uh,
connotation,
I didn't like that
and
comment.
it's just like, bro, like like you're getting these guys that are. I agree with Max. Like these guys are mic'd up all the time.
Yeah.
They're in a really very intense situation
Yeah.
regularly.
Yeah.
They're gonna swear. It's
Well,
gonna
think about
happen.
the adrenaline goes through their body
Yeah,
all the
all the
time.
time. And it's like
Yeah.
for like 60 to 70 laps.
Yeah.
Guys are like in a very high pressure
Yeah.
situation. They're going to swear. They're adults.
Yeah.
They're gonna swear. And I get that like F1's like they got like F1 kids
Oh, that's
now
such a bogus thing. Whose kid is actually watching
watching
it?
it. No,
Whose
no
kid?
one. No one.
Like,
And if they
come
are,
on.
they're concentrations, like for
You're
maybe a
trying too
couple
hard
of
to be a
minutes.
parent. Just
Yeah.
watch the normal F1
Yeah.
and make them understand it. Like kids F1, it's a bit of a joke.
It is. It is.
I personally, sorry if you have kids. Whatever.
I just would be surprised if there's actually any kids that like sit down for the whole like however long it is, like 2 hours almost, and pay attention just because they've got like an animation of like Lando
You think that a
like
kid
jumping
is able to
around.
sit down and watch that?
No,
Like they're on their iPad.
yeah,
You know what I mean? These kids these days,
yeah,
they're on iPad.
they're not watching.
They're on
They're
iPad.
yeah, they're kids. They don't even know. They don't even know.
Yeah, I think Mohammed Ben Salayam is a little bit off on this one. I
Yeah,
think he's blowing it.
he's
You
got to
know,
chill
I
out. Lando though
like
really did a good job. Not Lando, Max.
yeah,
Max did a great job of like very pointedly putting him like in his place
yeah,
without being like too
two
disrespectful.
max.
Yeah, to Max.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
having he's like, well, I'll talk to you guys outside. I'll
Yeah,
talk to you guys. Like, dude,
yeah. Catch me
yeah,
outside.
because like held his own little press conference in the Red Bull
Yeah,
office,
yeah.
which
I
is
mean,
it's great, good for him.
I and that was post quali. I think that
Yeah,
happened,
yeah.
right? So and Lando and Lewis were kind of just like, yeah, we're backing this guy.
Yeah, dude, I
Like,
think all the drivers are. I
yeah,
don't think any one driver is going like I think they all want to swear, man.
we're not
Yeah,
kids.
did you see Gunther's reply?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, "We should fucking swear all the fucking
Yeah.
time."
Yeah. Like on Drive to Survive,
Yeah.
he's literally that's all he
Dude,
does is swear.
F-bombs
You think
everywhere.
that you can watch these kids aren't watching Drive to Survive on Netflix?
Definitely watching that more than the race for
You know what I
sure.
mean?
Yeah.
Like just put like a viewer discretion is advised if you
Yeah.
need to, like and
Yeah.
not get sued.
It's sports. Who I can't remember who said it, but like imagine they're like miking up it was Perez. Imagine they're miking up like soccer players.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
It would be
Oh,
horrendous.
it would be
Yeah.
ridiculous. I don't know. It was a bit of a joke. It added on to the weekend of like this is BS for
Yeah.
me. Obviously, I was bummed that we got dropped so bad, but we came second, which was good.
When you say we, are you
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about Red Bull?
we,
Yeah, okay, sorry.
yeah,
I'm just making
we,
sure that
we.
yeah.
I'm a supporter. But I feel like we're in for some hard times coming up here.
I feel like you guys are about to get absolutely hosed.
Oh, I think so too, and it's gonna be a rough. I think I'm gonna say 4 years. I think it's gonna be a rough 4 years.
Yeah. Do you want to hear
Yeah, give me your
my Danny theory?
yeah, give me your magic theory.
Okay, so aside from the fact that like I think everyone's pretty in agreement that the way that Red Bull treated Danny was just like so unbelievably disrespectful for a guy that is like an 8-time winner, was it 37
Yeah.
podiums,
They kind of like
200 and some
brought him
odd.
back in as like,
Yeah.
yeah, come here, child, come here, child, and then like decided to just beat him.
You know, I just don't understand why they wouldn't let the guy. Well, actually, no, I'll get into why I don't think they're letting him finish.
Yeah,
Um, which I think was like I think that's the biggest thing is like just how he was treated. I think everyone's kind of like, yes, there has been a decline in his
yeah,
driving. So I think, them not continuing with him next year was warranted, but how
yeah,
they handled it was like really, really poor. Um, but my theory on this. Oh, and the fact that they also did this post when it was like 2 a.m. in Australia. I
yeah.
don't know if they were trying to avoid backlash,
It's just
but
because
like,
what was the time in Britain?
I have no idea.
That would be because that's where they're based, right?
Yeah,
So that would actually what AlphaTauri, Vicar, whatever they are. They're based in Italy, aren't they?
they are. They're Italian.
Yeah. So I don't know whatever time.
Yeah,
But yeah, I get what you mean because he's from Australia.
yeah.
So
I think they're trying to avoid backlash.
yeah,
Anyway, I think the reason that they let Danny go is because they need to get um Lawson in with Yuki ASAP
yeah,
so that they can evaluate Lawson and Yuki against each other this season prior to next season. Although, yes, there is like contractual obligations to get Lawson into a seat now, otherwise, they're going to lose him. But I
yeah,
think that they're getting him in there now. They're going to pit those two against each other. And I think that they're doing this with the eventuality that they're scared shitless that Max is going to dip. And he's not going to dip next year because I don't think he
yeah,
can. But the year after that, I think
yeah.
Max is gone.
26.
Yeah, 26. I think it's by like Max is. I think he's packing his bags and he's getting out of there. So they're going to put Yuki and Lawson.
Yeah,
They're going to compete, get those two to compete for the majority of the season next season,
yeah,
or right now.
yeah,
Or actually, no, yeah, I think they're going to compete with them now.
yeah.
Next season, I think Perez out. I think they're gonna boot him.
Oh,
I think they're gonna make him a reserve driver,
oh,
or they're just gonna boot him.
yeah,
Yuki or Lawson is gonna get the nod to go up with Max, and then they're gonna bring in like Hajar or
yeah. I've
one.
heard a lot about this Hajar guy.
Horn. There's another kid that I'm spacing on his name, which is really bad, who's in F3 right now,
Okay.
who's winning in
Yeah,
F3, and he's a Red Bull stable
yeah.
candidate. Um, I don't know. I can't remember
In the
the
horse
yeah, he's in
race.
the horse race. I
Yeah.
can't I honestly I can't remember his name. It's terrible. But
Okay.
anyway, Horner really likes him,
Yeah.
whereas Marco really likes Hajar. But Hajar is the same as Yuki, where he's a hothead.
Ugh.
And dude, again, like these last couple of races, I've seen it come out of Yuki. I thought he had kind
Yeah.
of toned it down, but he's really like he's got a temper, man. And like
Didn't he say like I'm not interested in knowing that or something?
yeah,
Because he
something
did get a new radio chief in.
he did, and they're not driving well.
No, it doesn't
Yeah,
seem like
doesn't
it.
seem like they're driving well.
Yeah.
So I can kind of see why they wouldn't want another Yuki. Anyway, there's a couple guys that are lower down that they're
Yeah.
looking at, and I think they're gonna end up bringing one of those guys up. They're gonna drive in V carb.
Yeah.
Someone either it's Yuki or Lawson's gonna go up drive with Max, and they're doing that in preparation of Max probably leaving in 2026.
Where's he gonna go?
Dude, I think
I know where he's going.
yes, he's gonna go follow with Newey.
Yeah.
Stroll's gonna get kicked out. It'll be the greatest
Maybe
upset.
Stroll will go to Red Bull.
Not a chance. Dude, I think if anything, he'll end up going to Merc.
I would hate that.
You would hate that?
I would hate that. I
Why?
just,
Or maybe he leaves.
I feel like they've had their time. Mercedes has had their time. They need to just like be bad for a little
Yeah.
while, you know?
Also, though, Max could just leave.
Yeah, that's. I think
He
he's gonna go into endurance racing at
he's
some point.
expressed his discontent with F1 as like a whole.
Yeah, or the FIA in general, I
Yeah, and
guess.
the
Yeah,
FIA, and like I could see him like if this you know pattern of his discontent and like fighting with the FIA
yeah,
continues through the remainder of this year and all through next year. If I'm
yeah,
Max, I'm going. I've got my WDC,
yeah, yeah. It's true. A couple of them.
couple of them. I'm one of the most decorated
Yeah,
F1 drivers in
yeah,
history.
yeah. It's true.
I have nothing else to prove here. And
I,
any
I think it just comes down to like the love of the sport, and I also think he did. He might not have that. I
no,
think he
man.
was just bred into it,
Yeah.
which is a bummer because I think one of the main reasons I support him and like him is because he just doesn't give a fuck.
hmm
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I
he
like
has
that
very little
attitude.
attachment to
Yeah,
F1.
like not giving a fuck and being really good. I think
Yeah.
it's like that's cool, you know. So I don't know. Maybe that's
It's
just
just like
I need to go into a psychiatric
care.
session, like a therapy session or something, and
Yeah.
dive into that a little bit more.
I mean, it's cool. There's like something that's kind of like oh my God, admirable about his nonchalant behavior
Yeah,
towards the sport
yeah,
is cool. Um, but yeah, I think it's also for you as a big fan, it should be a fear because it means he could just he can walk away from it and not
yeah.
care.
But I think there's others that I could get behind. Like I really do like Liam Lawson. I think he's gonna be like a really good driver, and like
Yeah.
I think he's like at a point in his career now where he's getting a little bit older. He's not a rookie. Like
No.
as much as he is a rookie, he's not a rookie.
And
Like
he's deserving of a seat.
yeah,
He's done a good job. Like
he's
he
done a lot of things.
yeah.
Like and I think it will be interesting to see him. I want to see him in the Red Bull seat. I don't want to see him in the V carb seat.
I would prefer to see him in the Red Bull over Yuki. So these next
Yeah,
6 races, as much as like I am personally actually like really bummed that Danny's gone.
yeah,
Um I'm interested to see how he races alongside Yuki, and I think potentially it's going to be scary for Yuki, and we actually might see Yuki's behavior get worse if
yeah,
he starts getting bested regularly, especially over the next 6 races. Now, what's even worse though is if he just does dog shit. Like if Lawson just all of a sudden is just not capable,
yeah,
then Red Bull's really
yeah. They're hoop.
their hoop.
The other thing is like I wonder how they're just able to let Daniel go.
I don't know. I was reading today. Apparently, Horner, along with his like, also I hate that they phrased it. Danny's departing F
Yeah, because
one.
he could be back.
Potentially. I don't know. So Horner apparently offered him a an ambassador position.
Oh,
Danny
okay.
doesn't want to be
Yeah, I wouldn't want to
he's
do
been very clear. He's like, I don't want to be the middle-aged guy that's
it.
in a
Yeah,
middling team or as a reserve driver.
yeah,
Not happening.
yeah. I get it.
But he is V Carb and Red Bulls probably one of like their biggest like cash cows in terms of like driver favorability. Everyone loves him.
Yeah, he's got that fucking
Yeah, the
smile.
smile. So they did, from what I understand, offer him a ambassador role. I don't know what that entails.
I don't know. You think like he goes? So what do you think? Maybe we should finish the race review before,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Like
We'll come back.
because we'll come back to it because I think there's a lot to talk about with this,
Yeah.
and I feel like I just want to get through Singapore quick,
Okay.
um, because I have like a lot to say about
Okay, go. Let's
it.
hear.
McLaren.
Yeah. Greatest team of all time in
Oh,
our
shut up!
generation.
Shut up! Shut up! They're all over the place
They
though.
are. They are.
Like they can't control Lando. I feel like
Yeah.
they can't control Lando.
As of like now or the last couple races.
Just in the last couple of races. Now that Lando knows he can win and he doesn't have to listen to them,
Yeah.
I think he's kind of like going a little AWOL.
Dude, there's a lot of shit going on in that camp.
I think so.
Yeah.
Like as much as they're winning the constructors championship, I still don't think he's going to win the drivers championship.
Yeah,
And
it's
debatably, he should win the drivers championship.
I mean, like if you look at him turning it around from Miami,
Yeah,
he should have. But they just make terrible calls.
I don't know. So slightly worried about that McLaren camp. I don't know. I mean, their car is good. We'll give them that.
Yeah. What do you think of Zach and Horner bearing the hatchet in matching pajamas on a
So
private plane?
theory:
Okay.
Rebels chief of strategy just went to McLaren,
Okay.
and I bet you that was them doing the handshake on the plane.
Interesting. Well, what's Red Bull getting out of that situation?
Cash.
Just some money?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's what was going down. I don't think they're buddies. I
No.
don't. I think that was they're just making business deals and they're showing
Interesting.
off
I
about
mean,
it.
like Perez has caused enough damage that they probably need a little bit of a cash infusion.
Also, McLaren still had Danny on their books. I think.
I thought they paid him out. That's why
I
they
don't know if they
canceled.
fully paid him out.
How much do you think that was that they had to pay him out?
Millions,
Millions of dollars.
millions of dollars. Yeah. So I feel like there's more to them being on that plane together.
Interesting. Because, like, from what I understand, Zach does not like Horner.
No, I don't think they like.
Yeah.
It's like the Americans and the Brits. They don't really like each
Yeah. Not friends.
other. No.
Although,
Like it
dude,
was like,
Horner's cat is a skeevy dude,
oh, he's a bit of a slime ball. I'm starting to see.
but I really think Zach, he's the first guy to point shit out,
Yeah,
and just historically, guys that I know that are like that are
yeah,
behind closed doors even worse.
yeah.
And
Oh,
I just like the amount of times I've seen like Lando. like Zach going for like a hug and like
Yeah,
Lando kind of like hesitate. I don't know. I could be saying a lot of shit and like
yeah.
pointing
You're
fingers at a
definitely
guy,
talking some shit
but
right
like
now.
I don't like Zach, man. I just don't like his I
Oh,
don't like his
oh,
attitude.
you said it.
I don't like him. I don't like him as a team principal. I find
Really?
him I just find something off about the guy.
He's completely turned
That company and the
that
team
company
around.
and
I
team around.
I 100% agree.
Like, you got to give him some props
Yeah,
for that.
he's done a good job. But
And
like I just he just I don't know, man. He just strikes me as like the dad at a backyard barbecue that like shakes your hand a little too hard
yeah,
and then like shows you all of
yeah,
like the nice shit that he has
yeah,
and it's like kind of in a
yeah. He
condescending
takes
way.
you to his garage.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
takes you to his garage.
What I find funny about him, and I think you mentioned this last race, I think he got Daniel's race win for McLaren tattooed on him
Yeah.
because it was like the
Yeah, yeah,
first one
yeah.
since 2012, and
Yeah.
then he got
Lando's
Lando's.
and
He didn't
he
get
hasn't done
Piastri's.
Piastri's. He hasn't done it,
Yeah,
which is hilarious.
I think so
Yeah.
too.
I feel bad for Oscar, man.
He's the best one there.
He is.
I hate to say it, he's better than Lando
He is.
because
He
he
is.
wouldn't have made that same mistake of almost hitting the wall.
No.
I almost
He's too
guarantee it.
clinical.
He's locked in,
Yeah.
and yeah,
He he's going to be an interesting drive. I think the reason he's not doing better than Lando right now is just because earlier on in the season he was still kind of figuring things
yeah,
out. He was having a rough time at the beginning of the season with tire degradation and
yeah,
making sure that he was, not blowing through them right away, but he's getting better, man. Like he's learning. He's like a computer.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's like
He's an
AI.
AI program.
Yeah,
Every race,
yeah.
he's getting 10% better.
What's going to be really interesting is next year,
Yeah.
especially if McLaren stays on top like this, and then it's just Lando and Piastri going at it. It'll be like the Nico Rosberg
We're gonna
Hamilton
see some
kind of
see some
Mercedes.
fireworks.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited for it. But
See some
Piastri,
blood.
speaking of his race, he just got like completely stuck behind George
Yeah.
for that whole first section of his race. He was just stuck until George finally went in and pitted, and then as soon as he went in, the guy on the radio was just like, "Okay, open her up," and he did.
Yeah.
Like he was taking seconds out of Max
Yeah. Yeah, he
on those
was.
old
He
tires.
was, yeah.
And then Max went in and then he kept that gap. And I
Dude,
think it stayed around like 17, 18, 20 seconds.
that car they have is quick.
It's a rocket
Yeah.
ship. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
And
that wing, man.
they figured it out.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Yeah, well they can't use the rear wing anymore, it sounds like.
No, they
But their front wing, I'm telling you, is doing some magic,
yeah.
dark magic.
Did we I know we talked about in the
Yeah.
last pod there like about the wing,
Yeah.
but did you see like the decision on like the wing?
Yeah, it wasn't like an official FIA
It's like the
decision.
FIA said it was legal,
Yeah.
but they've decided
Yeah.
for like sportsmanship that
Yeah.
we're gonna fix it.
Yeah.
Which to me
McLaren decided.
McLaren decided, which
Yeah.
to me is like it's not legal,
Yeah, yeah.
but
They don't want to get found out.
we don't want to get found out, so
Yeah.
we're gonna fix this,
Yeah, exactly.
and we're not gonna make a big hoo ha about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. That's what's going. Because what other like crazy high speed track is there left on the circuit? Like on the season?
Um.
No, like crazy high speed stuff. Azerbaijan's the craziest.
Yeah.
stuff.
Is the quickest.
So like, why not just use it once?
Mexico is pretty quick.
Yeah, I guess so.
And Brazil.
Oh yeah, Brazil is quick.
Brazil's
yeah.
quick. Yeah.
Yeah,
So we've got
but not
two.
as quick.
No,
is
no,
what
no,
I'm saying.
no, no. Baku's the
The fastest.
the bee's knees in
Yeah.
terms of speed. Yeah.
Um. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see.
You want to talk about Perez?
Oh, what about?
Just his like abysmal race, and
Are we surprised?
I've
Like,
never seen someone.
I was so hyped on him last race.
You were,
And I
dude.
just,
You were
I was,
prematurely excited
I was
about it.
defending him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, he just can't hold it together, man.
Just be
The
consistent.
guy's terrible. I don't know, and it's
He's
like
not terrible. Don't. He's not
okay,
terrible.
he's not terrible, but it's a street circuit. It's a
Yeah.
street circuit.
You're.
He's supposed to be. He's the king of the streets.
He's the guy.
He's supposed to be crushing it, and he's not.
Yeah.
Like what did he do? He landed in P8.
I mean, it's not horrible, but it's not.
It's not good.
No, race results. I got him 10.
Yeah, sorry, 10th. Well, like,
10.
dude, he's
He's
not.
just scratching by.
Yeah,
1 lap down.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, P10. Dude, he just is shit in the bed. I don't know what's going on with him. Who had a stellar drive though? Carlos.
Of course.
Fantastic.
Of course he did.
Dude,
The guy is a legend.
he is a
I
legend.
love Carlos, and I know
Do you?
a lot of people like Carlos.
Yeah.
I'm a little jealous of Carlos.
Girlfriend.
No, don't worry about it. But yeah, I mean, he's a good driver.
He's a very good driver.
He gets a little heated,
Yeah.
but I think everyone gets a little heated.
He's Spanish.
Yeah.
He's gonna get a little spicy.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't get as spicy as Fernando.
No.
So we're doing okay there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Ferrari had a surprisingly mediocre weekend.
Yeah.
I was expecting more from them because they've been on it recently.
I think they just I think they suffered from the same thing that happened to Piastri, where they both just
Yeah.
Carlos's crash
Yeah.
kind of screwed him,
Yeah.
and then Leclerc went over the line for
Yeah.
track limit, so his time got deleted,
Yeah,
and he
right.
was never able to set a time. And then both of them started far back, and they just got pushed back by Russell.
Yeah.
And that gap just all of a sudden became too big. And
Yeah.
then Sainz, he did fall pretty far back earlier on in the race, and
Mhm.
he had to fight his way up.
Yeah.
And again, like he gets up behind Colapinto.
I feel 10 feet tall right now and strong as an ox.
Who the fuck is this guy?
Hey, who the fuck are you? Huh? Who the fuck are you? Okay, I like it. All right.
Yeah.
And Colapinto's just throwing punches.
Yeah.
And like the car is all over the place. Like it's just like this.
It's like unpredictable.
Dude, yeah, it's this sporadic driving
Yeah.
style that like no one's really totally sure. How do I get around this guy?
Who's this FP2
Yeah,
kid?
yeah. What is going
Yeah.
on here?
What is he doing?
Yeah, and dude, he's just keeping them at bay. So I think
Yeah.
they both just kind of had to like really fight through.
Yeah.
But other than that, like they were uneventful races for them, but I think they both did, given the situation, they did pretty well.
I think it was like near the middle of the race when Leclerc passed Hulkenberg. I'm not sure if you remember that.
No.
But he just like undressed Hulk. It was a beautiful pass.
Nice.
I'd recommend like putting a
Putting it
little
up?
clip of
Okay.
it here because it was good.
Nice pass.
So I'll find it for you.
Okay.
Yeah, I wrote it down. That's how good it was. So I was
Okay,
like,
we'll
"Oh,
definitely put it in.
this is awesome."
What a pass!
And I don't usually say that about Leclerc. He's not my
He's
not
not
my
your
favorite
favorite.
prince. You know.
Dude,
So
I think I think Ferrari made a boo boo getting rid of Sainz and putting in Hamilton. I think
I think Hamilton also made a boo boo.
yeah. But dude, I think Hamilton's best days are behind him. I think they are.
Whoa.
Dude, he's a good driver. He's a phenomenal driver. He's one of the greats. He's one of the best drivers that there ever was. But
He did lose to George again.
yeah, dude, like Danny, he's like well into his 30s. Dude, he's kind of going down the road of like a Fernando Alonso, where like, dude, he's always going to be a great driver.
Yeah.
Any team would be happy to have him. But
I
like,
mean, he's literally the best driver I would say in the sport.
yeah.
Ever.
But like, I mean, like if you put Fernando
Yeah.
in a McLaren,
Yeah.
do
He's
you,
winning.
do you think he's winning every race?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, he's winning. I would say Lewis probably would too, though.
So you think it's pure? You think they're still amazing, and if you put them in the fastest car, there's
Look
like,
at the Aston Martin at the beginning of last year.
yeah, it was doing
the
well.
second
and
best
he
car,
was getting
and he
podiums.
was
He was getting podiums. Yeah.
Second or third every race.
Yeah. All right. Well, maybe I'm eating my words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it comes down to the car a lot.
Okay. Well, he's not going to be
Because it's
winning
a team
races
sport.
in the Ferrari.
We don't know that. I mean, Leclerc has been able to do it. Carlos has been able to do it. I think the big thing with these older guys who've raced in many different eras of Formula One is this era of like this downforce, like floor, big tire era. I don't think it's really jiving with them.
No.
And I think that's why Daniel struggled with it so much.
Yeah, it's
I just think-
it's clearly not his favorite.
It's just- and that's what
What are they gonna? You think they're gonna switch the cars back?
well, they are. They're changing the regulations again in 26.
Yeah, but like not like that crazy.
They're changing them.
They're changing them quite a bit.
Yeah.
But like I don't think they're
We'll
gonna
see.
go. We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see.
Well, who do you think Daniel comes back for?
I don't know. Audi?
That'd be wild.
I'm just
I
spitballing.
think we're gonna need some like Aussie team to come
Yeah.
in.
I mean,
Like
yeah,
Holden. That'd be
I
crazy. A
don't think he's
Holden
done.
racing team.
I don't think he's done. But we'll get there.
Okay.
Haas, Hulkenberg holding P6 was just legendary.
Fantastic.
The dude's got that car wide.
Yeah.
And no one was going by him. Also, thanks to Fernando.
Yeah.
David Coulthard made a comment about Kevin Magnussen during that race, and he said, "Approach with caution should be written on his rear wing."
Yeah.
And I found that so funny.
That like TikTok or whatever that I sent you
Yeah.
of like Magnussen pulling up with like a clean slate on
Yeah.
on his like penalties.
Yeah.
Just
no shits
Just like
given.
no shit's given.
Yeah. 6 races left in his career.
Yeah. We're doing this. That's another guy that just
Yeah.
he's got it's his time.
Yeah, I think so.
It's
I
his
think he
time.
should go into like some type of Danish rally sport driving.
He'd be a great rally driver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got the attitude of
Totally.
like
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. you know?
And they're big on rally driving.
Yeah.
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 I think he'd crush it.
And again, Hulkenberg and Alonso working together in the midfield is awesome to see.
Yeah.
I think it's like both teams kind of know like, okay, we're both not that good, but we're here right
Dude.
now, so we'll figure it out together.
Hulkenberg and Alonso on a team together would be
Ooh.
pretty dynamite.
Ooh, that would.
If like Fernando went to, I know he's not going to,
Yeah.
because he gets to work with Newey now.
Yeah, yeah.
But like him going to Audi would be pretty cool.
I think honestly, I feel like Fernando probably has as part of his contract maybe some type of stake.
He does.
Yeah.
We talked about this.
Yeah.
He has a percentage stake, and he, even when he stops racing for
Yeah.
Aston, is going to continue to be like on payroll.
Yeah.
And he's going to be like, whether he's a development driver for
Yeah.
like new guys and like teaches them, or he'll have, for as long as he wants it, from what I understand, he'll have some relationship with Aston F1.
Yeah.
He'll never.
I mean, it's good to see. I
Yeah.
think he's been around this like it's his whole life. Like, dude doesn't have like,
Dude, he's a wealth
like
of information. He's a
his
wealth of
family.
information.
Like, what is his family situation? You know?
Well, he was one of those guys that I think that actually like
Yeah.
F1 is
This is
predominant.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
F1's a pretty like kind of rich, spoiled kid,
Yeah.
right? Like sport. And Fernando, I think, is one of the few guys that kind of came up from literally
Yeah.
nothing,
Yeah.
and is just a phenomenal driver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's impressive to see. I don't know. I like the guy, but he's able to hold on and hold P7 for a large majority of that race. And
Yeah.
he finished pretty good too. So, I was bummed that Albon's car overheated.
Yeah.
I think the Williams are. Carlos may have made a good
I
decision.
think he made a great choice.
Yeah.
I think whatever Vowles
Yeah.
showed him for 2025, because he's not there for 26. Whatever
He has an option.
he has an option,
Yeah,
but
he has
whatever
an
he showed him
Yeah.
is like, hey, because like, dude, you've got to think like him going to like the Williams garage,
Yeah.
having that meeting with Vowles.
Yeah.
Vowles is, I think, a pretty straight shooter, and being like,
Yeah.
this is like, look, like
Yeah.
this is the analytics, this is our data, this is where we're projected to, and this is kind of where we're going.
Yeah.
Versus him going over to like Audi
Yeah. Yeah.
and like them being like, we're gonna give you millions of dollars, so much money,
Yeah.
as much money as you want. Like, dude, they're probably telling him like, you want a boat?
Yeah.
We're gonna buy you a boat. You want money? We'll give you money on a helicopter. You'll never have to walk a day in your life.
Yeah. Actually, you know what's
Yeah.
funny? I think I heard at an Albon interview, him and Carlos Sainz live across the street, like across the hall from each other.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah, in Monaco.
In Monaco? That's
Yeah.
awesome. Dude, I'm
So
excited
it's
for
like
them.
they're gonna get out, walk outside, and they'll both be like, "Sup?"
So, and they'll get in the same car.
Yeah. Hopefully they ride share.
I hope so.
Yeah.
No, those guys are
Yeah.
driving private.
Yeah. I think James is in the kitchen. He's
Dude, he's
cooking.
cooking, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's doing some good shit. I like him.
Yeah.
I like Vowles.
He's impressive.
Yeah.
I literally have 0 notes for Alpine.
They had probably the most boring, uneventful race.
Couldn't really give a
Yeah.
shit about Alpine. Not gonna lie.
Hold on, I just want to look up where P17 for Gasly and P13 for Ocon. I have almost zero memory of even seeing them in the race.
I know, me too.
Like it's like they
Their
weren't even
sponsors
there.
must be bummed they don't get
Dude,
any screen
but
time.
like you know what? It was them and also Sauber.
Yeah,
Just like didn't see him.
no, I said literally, let's just get out of here.
Yeah, I'm ready for
Like,
it.
just can we
Yeah.
just get over this now? Like, are we done here?
I'm
Because that's the vibe.
I still think that team is haunted, man.
Yeah.
And when Audi takes over, I think they're gonna have some gremlins.
It sounds like Bottas might get the extension though.
He's definitely the most likely candidate. And it's unfortunate the situation with
Yeah.
him leaving Merck and then going to like just
The
the
dog shit. Yeah.
most dog shit team
Yeah.
on the grid. Like no fault of his own.
Yeah.
And just like, dude, it's rough. Like I feel for the guy. And like if anyone deserves an opportunity in like a fresh car, it is him.
Yeah.
But also, dude, I would love to see Colapinto come back next season because I don't think he's not going to. It sucks. It sucks. He's not
Yeah.
going to. He may. I bet you he'll end up as a reserve for somebody. I haven't seen anyone mention that contract.
Maybe he goes to RB.
Maybe he goes to RB. Dude, if I'm any of the teams, I would be doing anything I can to
Yeah.
get that kid's
He's been
contract.
pretty impressive so far.
Yeah.
It's only been 2 races, right?
Yeah.
2
Is he
races.
whose reserve is he right now? He's no one.
I don't think he's anyone's.
Maybe he'll just stick around at Williams as like their
He has
reserve.
more points than Zhou Guanyu, Logan Sargent, and Valtteri.
Yeah.
He's 1 point behind Esteban Ocon, 2 points behind Kevin Magnussen, and crazy stat, but he's 3 points behind Oliver Behrman, which is pretty impressive.
That's impressive. That's super impressive.
So, like, I think the goal would be to be ahead of K-Mag.
Yeah.
So for 15th or 16th.
He'll get there, man. He's got 6 races left.
Yeah, but they're fighting for like 1 or 2 points. It's pretty brutal.
But I think he can do it, man. I think he
Maybe
can
we
do
just
it.
need like a crazy wet race, and he'll just have like this remarkable Kimi Räikkönen feature about him, where he'll just like lock in a wet race and just drive.
Where?
Maybe Brazil.
Brazil is the only one. Mexico is definitely not going. Austin is
probably
definitely not going
Probably
to.
not going.
Yeah, I don't know if we have a lot of opportunities for wet. Dude, I'm wondering on when the next safety car is.
Been a hot minute.
Do you think it's going to be one of those things where it's like been built up for so long that we're in for a doozy?
I think it has to be.
Just based off of statistics
Like,
and
what is
black
it?
magic.
9, 8 races now?
Yeah. It's like a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of races.
It's kind of suck. It kind of sucks.
Yeah,
like
I want to see a crash.
We need someone to get hurt. No offense. Like
George.
I don't want anyone to get hurt.
No.
But I want like someone
to go into a wall.
I want some strategy shit, you know?
Yeah.
Like I want to see these teams flex that part of their brain other than just tire management. It's fucking boring.
If we get there, then we get there. But like
the only good thing is that Lando is now winning instead of Max. But it's the same.
It's
thing.
the same shit because it just ends up being this. I mean, like we can hope for that. We get some more competition between Lando and Piastri.
I mean, for the 4 big teams, they've been competitive together this year.
Yeah.
We have had a lot of different winners
variation
from
in
those
winners,
4 teams, but it's still like one team will get it, and they'll lock it in for the whole race.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You want to see some battling all the way to the very end.
I want to see it.
Similar to like, I want some like more Max Lando shit at the Red Bull Ring.
Yeah, but like I'm thinking like also back to I think it was last season when Perez, Lewis Hamilton, and Leclerc were doing that like 3-way battle.
Yeah.
Like that was crazy. That was like the best moment in F1, like modern F1 history for me.
I think that's a rarity though.
It was
Getting
amazing.
the three-way race. Yeah.
Just it was fucking sick.
What more of that?
But yeah, so I don't know.
I want them to put like oil slicks on the cars and like weapons. So they can attack the other cars.
Like, where are we racing next?
Austin.
Austin? Oh,
Dude, that's why the Daniel Rick thing is like so messed up because like that's like his. I mean, obviously they race in Australia. It's the first race of the year.
Yeah.
But Coda is Danny's like.
Yeah, he rode a horse.
Dude, he rode a horse in there. It's his like unofficial home race.
Yeah,
because he loves it.
Texas.
He loves country. He wears cowboy boots, and like they're dropping him before literally like his favorite race.
Yeah, they're losing out on a lot of marketing bucks.
Dude, huge marketing, and that's another thing too. It's like it's nuts. Sorry, I'm going into this.
Yeah, get into it.
It's just like They knew. They must have known that they were getting rid of him.
Yeah. Oh, they did.
And the fact that they chose not to like speak up on it, like they're missing from like a financial standpoint, they're missing out on like having like this big thing. Like it's like get like they do like they could have done like special merch.
Yeah.
It's so easy to whip up like a graphic for like a t-shirt
Yeah.
and be like it's like Danny's like last year. So this
Yeah.
is his send off. Do like a big thing for the guy. Like they
Yeah.
missed out
Yeah.
on so many opportunities of like marketing and merchandise sales and like being like a good team that's like shows respect to a guy that's been in it for so
So
long and is like a lot I was watching a lot of people were making like, oh well, Red Bull was like ruthless with like DeVries and like got him out of there.
but
I'm
that
like,
was
but
different.
it's so different.
Yeah.
Danny's like is an iconic F1 driver. He's a reason that a lot of like new people got
Yeah.
into F1 because of Drive to Survive. Like
Literally,
I don't know.
DeVries was from the Mercedes camp.
Hmm.
First of all,
Yeah. And
we all know Mercedes is Mercedes. Like whatever.
yeah.
Danny is a purebred. He's a purebred stallion
Yeah.
from
It's a
the Red
thoroughbred.
Bull camp.
Yeah.
His biggest mistake was leaving that.
He shouldn't have ever.
He should have never left.
Yeah. Well, he did well. He did well at Alpine.
At Renault, yeah, he was okay,
Yeah, sorry, at Renault. He
but they
did
didn't have the best car. That was the
no,
thing. He
but
shouldn't have left there then.
he still, dude. I'm telling you, man. It's when he went and he was working with Zach.
Yeah, he got tainted.
Some shit happened.
Yeah, he planted a little thing in it, like a Neuralink in his head or
Yeah, it
something.
was not good.
I mean, I think there was an interview that you know who Dax Sheppard is.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did an interview with Christian Horner, and as part of that interview, they talked about Daniel.
He did a podcast with Christian Horner?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
know
I can't
that.
remember what it was called, but I listened to it a couple. I think it was last year because they're not doing it this year for some reason. And
Oh, Armchair Expert?
I don't know what it's called.
Dax is getting I know he's getting sued from F1.
Really?
Yeah, he's getting sued. He
Let's see.
because he tried to do an F1 podcast.
They were doing.
They
it,
were
I
doing it.
remember.
They're getting
Yeah.
sued. I'm gonna have to look into it, but like
Oh.
I know that they are getting sued for copyright infringement for something to do with from like the FIA's like
Oh,
is
that's
on
not.
them. Yeah.
Oh, don't worry about us. We're not doing anything wrong.
No. It's they I can't remember what they were doing, but they were doing I'll have to look into it, but they were
Okay.
doing something that was like infringing on like the commentary or I'm
Ah.
totally talking to my ass, but like
Yeah.
I
Okay.
do know for a fact that they are being sued by the FIA
Okay.
and that's not and
I'd be
that's
interested to know more about that
yeah,
actually because I really liked that podcast.
we let's on the next podcast it's
Okay.
kind of like I'll pull up some research on it, but like
Okay.
yeah, that's why they're not doing it
Oh,
anymore. Yeah,
really?
yeah,
Oh, bummer.
yeah.
Okay. Because they were like rich and they were flying out to these races and then talking about their experiences at the races. Like it was
Yeah.
sick.
Well, they're
Yeah.
they're super rich, and then
Yeah.
Dax's other podcast, The Armchair Expert,
Yeah.
is the number one like podcast without like a topic. It's just like have people on and like
Just
talk and just talk.
Yeah.
And for him, it was great because like I don't know if you're familiar with Dax's like history in Hollywood or movies. He's like
Little bit.
he's like a pretty like C-list actor.
Yeah,
Never really
yeah.
like got a big break.
Yeah.
He's married
Kristen
to
Bell.
Kristen Bell, who like did like Frozen and
Yeah.
a myriad of other movies. So she's
Yeah, yeah.
very successful. So they've got a ton of money from that. And then he started doing podcasting on like a whim, and it just really took off because he's just in general like a really really nice
He's a bit of
guy.
a comedian.
Yeah, he did he did Punked for a long time
Oh shit! Really?
with Ashton Kutcher. Yeah, like he was like
No
yeah,
way.
like he was like one of like it was like Ashton Kutcher was like running the show, but like
Oh.
Dax was like like the actor, like the guy that would get celebrities like into the
Okay.
van or like whatever
Yeah,
it was.
yeah.
So he did that for a long time, and then he did that movie, um, Up the Creek or whatever.
Okay.
And then he has another. He's also a huge car guy. I don't know if you know
I
this.
do know that.
Like
Yeah.
he
The big
has
American
big
car
American
guy.
car guy.
V8s.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
had there was a movie. Oh man, I'm spacing on the title of the movie, but he drives a Lincoln Continental,
Okay.
one with like the suicide doors. I think
Yeah.
it's from like the 70s, like a
Okay.
73. It's his actual car, and it's got like
No
a
way.
big block in it. The thing makes like 800 horsepower. It's
Oh jeez.
murdered out,
Yeah.
like all black, everything.
Yeah.
Dude, if I had the money for like like a sick like low ride kind of
Yeah.
like
Almost like a
hood
donk,
like
but
like
not a donk.
yeah like kind of
Yeah.
like more of yeah like a corporate gangster kind of car. Like, dude, I'm gonna put a picture of it right here. Dude,
Yeah.
the car's so sick. With like the fact that Lincoln at that time was like, we're making this thing have suicide doors
Yeah, yeah.
is so
Like
sick.
the Continental from Entourage.
It's the same car.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
but they had the soft top,
Yeah.
but his is a hard top.
Oh,
Although if
shit.
I was ever gonna get that car, I would totally do the
Yeah,
soft top.
soft
The
top.
soft tops, it's the convertible version of it's just
It's less
so
weight, too.
sick. Yeah, it's less yeah,
Yeah.
less weight.
That's what
Yeah.
I.
Totally lost our train of thought. I don't know where we are.
Oh, I don't know. We're way off. We were talking about Daniel.
Oh, we
Oh,
were talking
Christian
about
Horner.
Horner. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, go back.
Christian
Yeah.
Horner and his interview with Dax. They talked about how Christian felt and what happened when Daniel left because they offered Daniel a deal.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, and he didn't sign it right away, and I think he was cross shopping
Yeah.
his deal around the market, and apparently that's because of Daniel's agent at the time.
Hmm. So you think if without that agent, Daniel
Could have
never
been part of the family, the family
the
for a
family,
little
he would have
while.
never left.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if he would have never left, but I
But he
feel
would have been
like
there for at least another like
I think him
two,
and
three
Max would have
years.
had it out.
Yeah. Dude, I think he was scared of Max.
I don't know. I think they got along pretty
They
well.
got along really well, but I think he was like, because he at the time, just before he left to go to Renault, he definitely was like,
He was on the outs. Max was on the in
yeah,
regards to like number
yeah,
one driver.
yeah, because he was top dog and Max was kind
Yeah,
of peeking his head in,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I think that's tough for any driver. Like if you're like, because he pushed Seb out,
yeah. He pushed Seb out.
and like you got to be feeling like Seb's a huge
Like
racer.
debatably another legend.
Yeah, so like if you're Danny, you're kind of feeling like I'm pretty hot shit,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden
Look at my smile.
yeah, Max is coming along. That's got to be like threatening, and then he's kind of going like, you know what, like it's the same engine in the Renault.
Yeah,
Maybe we're
yeah,
in a, and like they're saying like I know when he was talking to them like they're saying like, oh, like don't worry, like next year like engine's gonna be better, like our aero's gonna be a lot better, we're gonna be right up there.
yeah.
Obviously that never happened. He still crushed it though. He still
What was
did well, man.
the Renault uh, head of Renault at the time? The Christian Horner of Renault at the time. Who was it?
Who?
Cyril.
Yeah, Cyril. I really liked him.
I liked him too,
Yeah,
and he kind of fell off the map. But I feel like he was the one who convinced Daniel.
he did. He
Yeah,
did. They had a really good relationship,
yeah. It
and
seemed
he
like
was
it.
really bummed when Danny left to go to McLaren.
He kind of backstabbed.
He did. And I wonder now that you're saying that, I wonder if it's that same manager,
Bet you
man,
it's the same.
who's like, okay, well, we did well at Red Bull.
Yeah,
We did really well at Renault.
yeah.
Let me see if
Let's
I
just
can get us a
keep
deal.
going and
Let's
get some
keep going. Let's
cash.
get some cash.
Yeah,
Kind of fucked him.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know. We could definitely dive into some Daniel Riccardo history if we wanted to.
Yeah, I want to know who that manager is.
Yeah, let's look it up quick here. Well, maybe I'll dive into the history here before we look up who this guy is. So Daniel Ricciardo's kind of career started with HRT. He was their test driver in 2011. They were kind of like a nowhere team that had been bumped around a lot, different owners and everything. And then he went to Toro Rosso in 2012, which is kind of where he began his Red Bull
His
career.
rise.
Yeah, and then he was there, and then to Red Bull Racing in 14 to 18. So that 14 to 18 period was where like there was a lot of changes and regulations. They didn't have the halo yet. They were still kind of going old school,
Yeah.
smaller tires. But he won 3 races, sorry, with Red Bull in his 2014 season when he was driving against Seb.
Damn. Yeah. Okay.
That's
That's pretty
crazy.
good.
First year in the car and you
And
won
wins 3
3
times.
races against Sebastian Vettel.
Very
That's
impressive.
wild.
They're probably going, oh my God, we got a live one.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
beating out like Hamilton and Fernando Alonso in a Ferrari.
Were you watching F1 at that time?
Yeah.
You were?
Yeah.
I wasn't.
Yeah,
Not yet.
my dad had me on.
Early.
So, yeah, early.
Yeah.
And that's crazy to think. And during that time period of his Red Bull stint, he won, I think, like 7 races. Yeah, 7 races. And like,
He's a very decorated
yeah,
driver. Like more so, I think Max said it in his press. He's like Danny accomplished more than most F1 drivers can ever hope
yeah,
to accomplish.
yeah.
He's going out as he's in the
I
books.
think the thing is we try to compare every F1 driver to like Max and Lewis and Fernando. Like
Yeah.
these guys are like legends.
Yeah, they're doing so much more than anyone
Like,
could
you know what
ever
I mean?
hope they're gonna ever do.
Like Hulkenberg hasn't even won a freaking race yet.
Yeah, and he's a great
Yeah,
driver.
he's a good
He's a
driver,
great driver.
which is crazy
Yeah.
to me to think that. But then after Red Bull, it sounds he went to Renault for 19 and 20, and this is I think his downfall. As much as I do think he was doing really good at Renault because he did get a couple podiums
Dude,
essentially.
he
He didn't
won.
win there though.
I thought he won.
No, he got podium.
Okay.
Then his other win was at McLaren
Yes.
at Monza, which
Yeah.
was their first race.
He's a
since
two-time
2012.
Monza winner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is kind of crazy to think. And I think he was at McLaren, like I said, for like the paycheck. He was there because it was the paycheck of all paychecks.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Zach brought him in with Lando and said, "You guys are going to be the ones who do this for
Yeah.
us." And it didn't work out, which is a bummer.
No. Just sucks. And then they kind of bend him so quickly
fucked
too.
him
Yeah.
with Piastri. Which is like, okay, Piastri's a good driver.
He's a good
we can't talk
driver.
shit about Piastri.
Yeah.
It's not his fault.
They made like in the long term they made a good move.
Yeah.
Although it's so bizarre, like yeah, no, they made the right move doing it, and like
Yeah.
when you're comparing Daniel to Lando at the time too, Lando was definitely doing better, and he's
Yeah.
also younger,
Yeah.
which is like a big thing. But they still did him dirty.
Well, I think Daniel brings more because of the experience that he has through like car development. Like,
Yeah.
maybe we do see the McLaren of today because of some downstream effects of maybe Daniel's feedback that he gave.
Just
We
probably
don't know.
I mean, like that's what they were saying with him at VCarb.
Yeah.
Was like he was just such a wealth of information,
Yeah.
and that car was worse.
It was getting better.
It was getting better,
Yeah.
and I can't remember their principal's name. Anyway,
Yeah, I know.
yeah. Anyway, VCarb's principal was
Yeah.
saying like Daniel is largely responsible for a lot of the growth in that car.
Yeah.
Because like because he's been in it for so long, it's not that like he's not a mechanic.
No.
But he's able to very accurately articulate what is going on in
Yeah.
the car while he's driving it and what needs to change.
Yeah.
Giving that to someone who's like a very analytical person
Yeah.
is able to interpret what Daniel's saying. Going
Yeah.
like, okay, we need to change this in the car.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a skill.
The driver's almost the creative, and
Yeah.
then like the engineer is the type A, like analytical.
Yeah. Like
thing.
Yuki's not capable of doing that.
Doesn't seem like it.
No. Dude, he's very from what I can tell, man, he's not capable of really even having a conversation with his like own engineer.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to meet the guy. You know? Like I want to see what he's about because I feel like he's shy, but then like he gets pumped up.
Yeah. Look, if people subscribe to the channel, we
Yeah.
get big enough. Maybe we can get some of these guys on the show.
Yeah, we'll just call Yuki up.
Yeah. Hey man, I don't see why that can't be a reality one day.
Yeah.
And like now that Danny's not driving,
Yeah.
he's got to be open.
Yeah. Here's $100, Dan.
Your boat's
Canadian.
look, buddy.